Our next guest here on Football America is one of the men of the moment in American soccer, none other than Matt Turner, goalie for the New England Revolution, the U.S. men's national team, and yes, soon, Arsenal of the Premier League. Matt, welcome back to Football Americas, and congratulations on the big move. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me on again. And yeah, it's been a pretty good start to the new year.
I bet it has. So we got a lot to talk about, right? We got Arsenal, we got the national team, but let's start with the New England Revolution. You're in preseason there. What's the approach this season? Because last year, so much was made of the dominance in the regular season, but I'm sure it must have been a just incredibly frustrating end of the campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. It was extremely frustrating having that really long layoff, 23 days, I think it was, between our last regular season game, which we didn't play all that well in, and then before playing the most important game of the season. So yeah, it was a frustrating end for sure. But I think the goal at the beginning of the season is to start off the same way we did last year. In seasons past, we didn't have great starts to the season, and we were always sort of digging ourselves in a hole. But last year we started off strong, and we just sort of kept that momentum going. So I think the challenges in the early season are assimilating some new pieces, finding out what team we are, who are we, our identity for the season, if you will, and then from there, getting results that will position us well through the summer, and then obviously down the stretch in the fall.
Man, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised with the turnaround with what is Bruce Arena for the New England Revs, but he comes in 2019. It's like a year and a half, and you guys set a points record. Talk to me about Bruce Arena's impact with this team and with you in general.
Yeah, his impact, there's no question. It's a pretty clear start date of when we started playing better soccer, better football, however you want to call it, yeah, it's just the approach he takes every single day. We are light and easy, when we're in the training center, but as soon as we step out and we cross that line onto the field, it's business. And I think what he does a really great job of is helping everybody understand what their strengths are and what their role for the team will be, whether that's as a starter, as a goal scorer, as the 12th man, he just sort of clearly defines that, and there's not a lot of secrets, so everyone can sort of look at their role, see how they can help the team the best, and then do that to the best of their ability. And I think that's been a huge piece for us, whereas in years past, before that, with the two coaching staffs prior, there might have been a little more questions about, where do I stand, and how can I help the team the best?
Matt, well, let's talk about this huge move. It's the Premier League, it's Arsenal. Tell me a little bit about the process. When did you first hear about this? What was going on through your head? Where are you now?
Yeah, I mean, with my agent, we found out probably towards the end of 21 that they were interested, but it always seemed like a long shot, So for me, my focus was just control what you can, play to the best of your ability, and focus on the here and now. And eventually, the offer comes through, and I think I got wrapped up in the transfer saga maybe a little more than I should have in terms of like emotional investment. Because it was something that I really wanted. Obviously, I think it's no secret now. It's the team I supported, and it was my dream move, really. So I got invested. Like, I would only be happy if this happened, So it was dealing with Zach pulling out of the World Cup qualifying games, and knowing that I was going to play those games and also try to secure this transfer as well. So it was definitely an emotional, I'll call it, few weeks that I needed some time to sort of let it all soak in after these games, because nothing's more important than that to me, those games with the national team.
This move to Arsenal kind of came out of nowhere. Was there other options for you? Like, at this point in your career, were you looking to move overseas?
I mean, I've been playing well for the better part of 3 years, and yet this was the first offer that came through that was concrete. There was a lot of interest expressed here and there, and so I understood that, especially with COVID and the uncertainty in the market and having fans in the stands and the prices people were willing to pay, that these opportunities were going to be few and far between. You know, I'll be 28 at the end of the World Cup, and it's not a guarantee that I'll play every game while, you know, hopefully we qualify and play every game while I'm there. So when you have the opportunity to get your foot in the door at a big club like Arsenal, it was really a no-brainer for me.
Let's talk about the national team, my man, the good stuff. The U.S. men's national team has never beaten Mexico in El Estadio Azteca in a World Cup qualifier. It's definitely a daunting place to play. But if you win, it sets you up nicely for what is Panama securing a result, so we don't have a repeat of Trinidad and Tobago, of Cova. Do you think this U.S. men's national team, given the difficulties on the road, can win in El Estadio Azteca?
I think, you know, the good part is that it's the first game in the window. I think what we've struggled with was, you know, having those home games in the first part of the window and then going on the road and being away from our fans and sort of having to recover after 2 days and a good result and then going into tough places to play and then coming back home after that. Obviously, we've been able to secure 3 points again. So I think it's good that we are going to Azteca in the first game of the window. And yeah, I mean, of course, I think we've matched up well against them. They'll definitely be out for something to prove in 22, since 21 was sort of the year of the United States in terms of head-to-head competition. So yeah, the Azteca is getting to be there for the first time for me will be spectacular. You know, I have a tremendous respect for the Mexican people. I always say that, their passion, the way they support their team. And yeah, hopefully we can go there, get a good result, maybe even a win, and position ourselves to qualify for Qatar at home.
Herc's the one that brought up Cuba. I want to make that very clear here. But, you know, there are only 3 games left. World Cup qualification is not guaranteed. And when you talk to a lot of fans, the failures from the last World Cup qualifying cycle are still kind of front of mind. How front of mind is it for the players within this group that are trying to change that history?
It's not. Honestly, it's not. It's a young group of players. Obviously, we understand the history, the scarring that a lot of U.S. soccer fans have gone through, former players have gone through. But we do, you know, we have confidence in ourselves to go and get this done and sort of right those wrongs that were had in 2018. So, or 2017. Yeah, it's a big responsibility on a lot of young guys, but I think the focus is there and the objectives are crystal clear and what we need to do. So, yeah, I was a fan, you know, in 2017 watching that. So to be in a position to have helped the team right that wrong, because I'll never forget exactly where I was when that happened, and I'm sure a lot of U.S. soccer fans feel the same way. They probably never forget where they were when that happened, and I'm looking forward to this last window. It's going to be some of the biggest games of all of our lives.
You know, Sebi and I argue a lot on this show. I know, it's a shocker. But one of the things we have argued a lot when it comes to goalkeepers in the U.S. men's national team is playing time. Does playing time matter for goalkeepers? Does it affect their form? I think you were 3rd in minutes logged for the U.S. men's national team, and you were the clear-cut choice for New England Revolution. Did that give you a leg up? How do you think this impacts the goalkeepers?
Yeah, I mean, well, yes to both questions, right? Playing games helps your form. Playing games is the most important way to grow as a goalkeeper. However, what I will say is I did play every single game that I was available for the Revs last year, and still in October I wasn't, you know, the out and out number one. You know, Zach still got some games, and so, you know, he's in a position where he's training at a really high level every day. He's playing in the cup competitions, and he's playing in a style and a system that more emulates what Greg wants to do for the national team here. So at Arsenal, they play a similar style and they have similar principles of play. And so I'll be immersed in that a little bit more every single day when I'm training, and I'll have already logged 20 games in this calendar year.
Yeah, Seb, if I may really quickly, Matt, you mentioned that every game you were available for, you started except the October game. Walk me through that as a player when you think you're doing well and you're posting shutouts and it's a very important game against the biggest rival and your number's not called.
Yeah, so that was the November window. The first one I was benched for was the Costa Rica game in Columbus after we lost in Panama. So, Yeah, it was challenging. You know, I played every game so far, and I didn't think that I was playing my best, but I didn't think I had done anything that warranted, you know, me not playing. So I had a nice long conversation with Greg, and I told him that, but you know, he still stuck with his guns and made the decision he did. And I always have the utmost respect for Greg and the decisions he wants to make for the national team, and whatever my position is, I'm going to do, like I said before, I'm going to do that to the best of my ability, because I'm in a position where I understand that playing for your national team, playing for a club like Arsenal, is you're part of something much, much bigger than just yourself. So I wasn't going to make a big fuss about it, and I understood. You know, he gave me reasons, but it was hard for me to digest for a little while. And I think my form in my club showed after that. I was a little disappointed. I was trying to do things a little outside of my comfort zone, right my wrongs in a way, and then the November window came around, and not getting that home qualifier against Mexico again, like that really hurt. But you know, we got the win, and Zach played really well in that game, and again, I was happy, and that's the way the cookie crumbled, and I did my job to the best of my ability, and I was able to help the team in my own way secure the 3 points, and in that overarching bigger goal of qualifying for the World Cup that's bigger than just me.
And your career has proven time and time again that it works out for you. There he is, Matt Turner, New England Revolution, U.S. men's national team, and soon to be Arsenal. Thanks so much for the time, Matt. Congratulations again. Great to have you here on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Nice chatting with you.